For this video, I will be doing a tier list on the best businesses in GTA Online 2025. This will be completely based off my opinion and my experiences with these businesses, so try not to grill me too much in the comments. I try to give my honest opinion on these businesses, their different features and stuff like this. So maybe, for example, you have not used one of these businesses before. Hopefully this will give you a nice sort of insight of what to expect and potentially ones to avoid. I also did realize I missed one of the most important businesses, but I did eventually get around to including this. If you guys would like to use this template, I will leave a link in the description below, and that will be with everything included. And without any further ado, let's dive straight into this tier list. So to get this tier list started, we first of all have to start off with the agency. Now honestly, I do think the agency is probably one of the best businesses in GTA Online. It is definitely one of the best investments. If we just think about it, we can do the payphone hits from the agency, security contracts, and obviously the Dr. Dre contract, making you $1 million every single time you play it. So I think this one's a no-brainer, but this will be an S tier thing. Definitely worth it if you guys can get it. Next up, we do have the Acid Lab, which is still relatively new. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best solo businesses. So for me at least, I would want to put this in S. However, I think I'm going to go with A tier because there is some annoying requirements. For example, doing the 10 Dax Fooligan jobs just to unlock the upgrade for the Acid Lab. I think that is super annoying, and I honestly don't think it should be a thing. I think you guys should be able to buy it straight away. But still, when you have that upgrade, the Acid Lab is easily in this S tier. Next up, we have the arcade. Now the arcade is just a little bit different in the fact that most of the money made from the arcade will be coming from the casino heist. And in terms of the casino heist, I do think it is still one of the best heists in GTA history. It is honestly so good, there is so much depth, and the only thing that lets it down in my opinion is not being able to do it solo. So yeah, if you guys have 2 players or something, I think this is S tier for the arcade. And just remember, with the arcade as well, this was the first time that we saw the MCT or Master Control Terminal, where you could manage most of your businesses. So yeah, I think that really just pushes it more into the S tier. I would be intrigued to hear what you guys think about the arcade, or even the casino heist. Are you guys still playing it? Next up, we have another really solid business, and this will be the auto shop. Now I honestly have got a feeling we might run out of space in the S tier, because I do actually think this is an S tier business. Doing the auto shop contracts will make you guys so much cash, and on top of this, your auto shop will be eventually receiving them customer vehicles, which in turn will eventually make you even more cash. I also believe the auto shop itself does not cost that much money, so once you purchase it, you don't even have to buy any of the upgrades if you don't want to. You can then just jump straight into the auto shop contract and make a ton of cash. Now next up, we do have one of these businesses which is kind of forgotten about, although it was relatively recent. This will be the bail office. I don't think the bail office is honestly that bad. You can do that daily main bounty or target and get about $130,000. It also has that passive save which you guys have to send off them 2 staff members for, which I really don't like too much. But in terms of how easy this is, I mean, the bail office itself, with all of the different bounties, no matter which ones they are still pretty easy and simple. But as a business in total, the only thing worth doing from the bail office is that main target. And because of this, I would probably put this in C, maybe B. I think I'm going to go for C. But when the bail office does get some bonus money, it does become extremely nice. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Next up, we have the bunker. Now, there is not much else to say on this one. It will be going straight into the S tier. The bunker is just so effective, and it can almost make you guys as much as the Acid Lab in the same amount of time. And considering the bunker has been around for so long, yeah, I think the bunker, probably out of most of these businesses, definitely deserves the S tier. In terms of ranking the S tier real quick and just reshuffling them, I would probably put the bunker here and the arcade over here. At the end, I will definitely go through them all and make sure that it's all lined up. But nevertheless, moving down to the next business, this is the newest one, and this is the car wash. Now for the car wash business, I wanted to include the Higgins Heli Tours and the Smoke on Water shop in the same sentence. I don't think there is too much point in separating these ones. They are essentially all the same, and the other 2 businesses also contribute to the passive income inside the car wash. Now for me at least, I do want to put this in the S tier. However, I will be putting this in the A tier instead. The only reason I was nearly putting this in the S tier really comes down to the additional business boosts. If you guys did not know, if you have this car wash business, you will get a 35% sell bonus on your counterfeit cash MC business. The Higgins Heli Tours will then get you guys a 10% increase on your Hangar business cargo, and of course the weed shop or smoke and water shop, similar to the car wash, will get you a 35% sell bonus on the weed farm. And I think that really separates this business and makes it definitely worth the cash, even just buying all 3 of them. And for that reason alone, I would definitely put this in the A tier. In my opinion, just really worthwhile. Now next up, this is sort of not a business, and I actually wanted to include this at the end of the video as sort of a bonus add-on, but this will be the facility. And for the facility itself, making money, you will have to play the Doomsday Heist. I know a lot of people do play the Bogdan Heist with the replay glitches, and that needs at least 2 players. I think all of these heists from the facility need 2 players at least. It is a good heist overall, and it is definitely a lot different. For me, in my opinion, I don't really play it that much, so I will probably put it in B tier. I have played it before though, and I did really enjoy it. Even for making money, it is a pretty nice option. Following this on, we now have the import-export business, which is one of the oldest ones across the entirety of GTA Online. And for this one, I do think it has definitely fell off. Obviously, Rockstar will not be updating these businesses, and the setup for them does take a while. For example, if you guys want to source top-range vehicles all the time, and even selling these top-range cars will only get you $100,000 without any bonuses. Back in the day in GTA Online, this was easily one of the best things. I still think it needs a touch-up, but at this point in GTA's life cycle, I really don't see this happening. So now for the ranking of this one, I think I'm going to put it in the B tier. I still think it is pretty efficient, especially with things like the Cargo Bob and the new Iron Mule. It will definitely speed things up and be extremely useful. Now, a really nice newer business will be the Garment Factory. I think this one is probably in the A tier or the S tier. It's quite hard to decide, but I think what really pushes me over the edge to put it in the S tier is the new terabyte upgrades you can get inside here. Obviously, we have the subterranean tunnels, which I don't think are too good. I think there should have been more options. The FIB files, along with the priority file, are genuinely really good. They can make you a lot of money and be done solo, but having that terabyte upgrade, although some of the upgrades are a bit questionable, like the player scanner thing, or the collectible scanner I think it's called, one of the most useful ones in my opinion will be the MCT. Because with the Garment Factory update, we can now put the MCT inside the terabyte, pretty much meaning we can access almost all of our businesses. I think the only one you can't access is the Acid Lab. So yeah, the Garment Factory as a business just really stands out to me at least. Just super efficient in making cash. It can all be done solo, and of course we can upgrade the terabyte with some really nice new features. At this point, we have some of the MC businesses. Now, I'm not going to take too long on these things, but to quickly give them a summary, the Counterfeit Cash Factory I think should be in the A tier now. I would only put it in the A tier if you guys have the car wash business, getting that bonus money. The Coke Lockup, I would still probably put this in the A tier as well. The payout is really similar to each other now. Next, we have the Meth Lab, also in the A tier I think. And then the last one, the Weed Farm. This used to be pretty bad in the C tier I would say, but now I think it goes to the A tier with that boost. Every time I've sold my full stock after having the Smoke and Water shop, the Weed Farm is getting me $400,000, which is a massive increase for me at least, compared to before the update, where you could only get roughly $250,000. And then for the last MC business, this is horrible. Do not get it at any costs. The document forgery is and has been the worst thing in GTA Online ever since it was released. The only time it is genuinely slightly viable is when there is a bonus money event week, and even then I would still not even touch this. But yeah, it comes down to what you guys want to do. I would still recommend picking a document forgery up if you have the car wash business again, because of course the passive income safe inside the car wash does take into consideration all of the businesses you have, which in my opinion makes the document forgery not completely useless. Now for another S tier business, we have the Nightclub. It's just that simple. The Nightclub is just so goated. Mainly the passive income safe, I love using that thing, but of course the best quality of the Nightclub is all of that passive money you get from the warehouse technicians. There is actually a big downside with that, and it is the fact it will take a little while to set up, and it will cost you a ton of cash. I would definitely say it is more of an endgame business, because if I do remember correctly, you will also need to buy all of the different businesses as well to get the most out of your warehouse technicians and the Nightclub stock. Even with knowing all of this, the Nightclub is still in the S tier. It is still that good. Definitely worth it if you want to make a ton of cash, pairing this with other things. Now next up, we do have the Clubhouse, and I did include this as a business because you can run them bike services, and there is also the bar earnings, which is sort of a semi-passive income stream. In terms of making a ton of cash cash from the Clubhouse, I would probably put it as a C tier thing. However, the Clubhouse is more of a gateway business in the fact that this is where you buy all of your MC businesses from. So in that respect, I probably will put this in the B tier. But if I was going to be realistic, it is probably the C tier, just underneath the bail office. And I will actually keep this in the C tier. The next business we have is the Salvage Yard. Now, I highly underrated the Salvage Yard in the past, and after doing a ton of research on the Salvage Yard, I do think it is an S tier business. We aren't going to run out of space with the S tier, but the Salvage Yard is just that good. I mean, there's so many little details about it, especially with the passive income safe. And to really sum that up, essentially you just need to keep doing one of these salvage missions, and that is what increases the passive safe income. Obviously, there is a ton more detail to go into with the Salvage Yard in that respect, and hopefully I included some more information on screen right now. The Salvage Yard as well also has the Salvage Yard robberies, of course. These things are extremely good every single event week, and sometimes you can also pick up some vehicles inside and claim them for yourself. So yeah, a great business, S tier in my opinion. Now we already have done the import-export business, so now we have its brother, and this will be the special cargo. Special cargo is still pretty nice. I mean, it is probably one of the longest grinds, and it will take you guys so long, but if you guys do manage to fill a large crate warehouse, you will honestly make so much cash. I believe you can make upwards of $2.2 million or something. So if you do have the grind mindset and want to do special cargo, it would probably be in the A tier for you. However, if you hate grinding and are not prepared to do a ton of stuff like collecting crates, this will probably be in the low C or B tier. At this point, I did actually realize I did miss the Hangar business. So for the Hangar business, I will definitely be putting this in the A tier. I think this is pretty similar to special cargo in the sense that you need to keep doing it. It does not take as long as the special cargo, and at least now in GTA Online, I do think it is a lot more rewarding. You can obviously sell on land and collect crates on land as well, which really does save a lot of time. On top of that, the Higgins Helitours business, which is obviously with the car wash, really does help. That 10% increase does not seem like a lot. However, just think when you have a ton of crates inside here, that 10% increase will be a really nice amount, because these crates also get their own sort of boosts. Hopefully I still have a screenshot of this or something, but you will see there a 70% increase with a specific cargo type, and these things will stack. At this point in the video, we now have some of these standard things, and this is where I really wanted to include the facility. So to sum these things up, these will be things that can still make you guys money, but they are not essentially a business. For example, the Kasatka is the submarine, and obviously you can start the Chaos Breaker heist from here. So I will most likely be just rating these on how much you can make and how easy they are to do. Obviously the Kasatka with the Chaos Breaker heist tied to it just has to go in S tier. It's just that simple. The Mackenzie Field Hangar, I think this was good, but then Rockstar changed it and made it a lot longer to complete. So nowadays I probably will put this in B tier. I don't think it's as good as it was when it was sort of bugged out, which was a shame that Rockstar touched it because it was a genuinely good money method. The Cooking Bell Farm Raid, I honestly think this is S tier. This can be done at any rank in GTA Online. You will not need a penny to spend either, and making $500,000 every time you play through it is just a really nice way to save up for everything else. And finally, I also wanted to include the Casino Penthouse. This is another place where you guys can make money from having a high limit table. So if you guys like gambling or something, I mean, it could be a pretty valid option, but I would still be prepared to lose a ton of chips. In terms of how much money you can make, I will probably put this in the B tier. Honestly, not that bad, and it is a lot different to everything else that can make you money, which is quite unique in GTA. So yeah, that will be all of my tier list. To quickly go through and shuffle them about, just to make sure we've got the best of the best at the top, I will probably be moving the Kasatka to first place, the Clucking Bell Farm Raid just underneath this, but not by much. I will be moving the arcade down to the last place in the S tier, and after looking through this list again, I might be faded because I do think the Acid Lab might have to go into the S tier as well, and I will be changing the arcade for it. I will also be moving the Acid Lab next to the bunker business because they are pretty similar, and of course I did make that point in how they can make you almost the same amount of money in a couple of hours, so it would make no sense for one of them to be in a lower tier. At this point, I would probably say that I am almost happy with this, just looking through the list again, and I think this will be my final and completed tier list. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to hear what you guys think, and if you guys want to make your own tier list or something, maybe share it with me on Twitter. You can use this exact template, and I will also include the Hangar business, which I forgot to put in. So yeah, make sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Do you also think I missed any businesses in GTA GTA Online? Is there something else I should include, for example the Avenger, with them LSA operations or whatever they are? And yeah, if you guys want to see more tier lists or something, make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments below. Finally, if you guys went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, leave a like. I always do appreciate your support, and if you are new here and like what you see, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.